Coming up, shocking hidden messages found in video games. In 1988, Atlus made a game called Erika and Satoru's Dream Adventure. However, for one of the game's developers, working on it was anything but a dream. A programmer using the alias Hidemushi hit a scathing rant about his coworkers at the end of the game. Accessing it, however, required a lot of time and a combination of button presses using not one, but two controllers. To see the message, you must beat the game, and when you get to the end screen, you must wait an hour and a half. During this time, a photo on the end screen will change colors, and then eventually the music will stop. You then have to press a combination of buttons on both controller 1 and 2. New music will begin to play, at which point you need to press different buttons on both controllers. If done correctly, Hidemushi's message will appear, and it's a doozy. He basically calls everyone bastards. In particular, he calls out Kaoru Ogura, who, quote, ran off with some guy in the middle of the project. Don't show up at the office without showering after having sex 6 times the previous night. Hidemushi then goes after Tatsuya Uhashi. Don't give me your flippant shit. Coming in late on the day we ship the ROM like nothing's amiss. You can give me all the porn you want. I'm not forgetting that one. All that fucking weight you put on. No wonder you paid out 18,000 yen and still got nothing but a kiss out of it. Hidemushi also warns a part-time Namco debugger named Kenji Takano to not, quote, dick around with the project planner. He also wishes that he could get a time machine to send Kiyoharu Goto back to the Edo period. Hidemushi's identity is a mystery. The game has no end credits, but people suspect that the individual was an Atlus programmer named Kuwamura Hideo. The names Hideo and Hidemushi are similar, and Hideo worked on another Atlus game called Bikurumin World. According to rumors, Hideo may have been a handsome womanizer who left the games industry to work in the night entertainment business. That, or he was a crazy jerk who ran away after stealing from Atlus. StarTropics is an NES game where you embark on a journey to rescue your uncle, Dr. Jones. This involves entering forests, exploring settlements, and sailing the ocean. To make the experience more immersive, the game's creators did something really cool and novel that you wouldn't see nowadays. At some point in the game, you get swallowed by a whale, and while inside of it, you find Dr. Jones's assistant Babu. When both of you manage to escape and end up on a small island, Babu tells you that your uncle's been abducted by aliens and that the letter that he sent you a few weeks ago needs to be dipped in water. It's a strange statement, and it's here where a lot of players got stuck. The only way to get off the island was by submarine, but when you tried to operate it, it would ask you to input the correct frequency. Some players didn't know what it was, but it turned out the answer was hiding inside the physical box of the game. Attached to the game's instruction manual was a letter written by your uncle who tells you that you should visit him sometime. But if you dip the letter in water, a secret message would appear in which your uncle reveals that he found a strange cipher and that someone's been watching him.
I don't know if this will work, but we'll see. Yep, it's there.
He then gives you the frequency code 747, and players were able to use it to operate the submarine in the game to get off the island. At the time, some players either lost the letter or rented the game, which only included the cartridge. To make matters worse, the game came out before the internet, so players couldn't just look up the code online. As such, some resorted to calling Nintendo Power's hotline for the code, or brute forcing their way through every code combination until one worked. If you like this video so far, be sure to subscribe, like, and click the bell icon for notifications. If you have any gaming myths, mysteries, oddities, or Easter eggs, be sure to let me know. You can also check out my other YouTube channel and watch me live on Twitch. The links are in the video description. Now back to the show. In 2007, amid the popularity of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, a game called Jam Sessions was released for the Nintendo DS. It was a guitar simulator that let you play the guitar by swiping up and down on the touchscreen. During gameplay though, players heard something eerily off. If you held the A6 chord and let it play out without playing another note, you could faintly hear what sounded like someone whispering, "Forgive us," or "Don't kill us." This spread all over the internet, and it got enough attention that the game's developer actually responded. The game's lead programmer, Seth DeLackner, uploaded a video clarifying that what we're hearing is indeed a person whispering, but it's not ominous.
Hi, this is Seth DeLackner. I'm the lead programmer at Plateau on Jam Sessions. You can see here's my Meishi, and I'd just like to clarify, we're a little bit surprised anyone has taken issue with the sound that people are hearing at the end of A6 after about 4 seconds or so of fading out. The recording engineer, who's Japanese, as we're in Japan, after he finished playing the chord, he said "Tsugi ikimasu," which means in Japanese, next, as in, okay, I'm gonna play the next chord.
However, according to a YouTuber named Mullet Mike, who has a music background and has been in a recording studio before, it's weird that the engineer would whisper.
It just doesn't add up to me, and the recording process has never been anything like that for me. Could you imagine an entire recording session going like that, just whispering? Mark, let's do another take. Okay, let's go again.
One possibility is that the engineer was talking to himself, and that the whispering was so faint that it was overlooked. Nevertheless, the whispering still managed to creep out players. Alien Breed for the Amiga was a 90s top-down shooter inspired by the Alien films. It was made by a company called Team 17, which made the Worms games and The Escapist 2. The studio's located in the UK, and it's pretty apparent based on the shockingly offensive cheat codes that were included in Alien Breed. Here are some of those codes.
Warning. Destruction imminent.
To get 50,000 credits, you have to enter, "Give me power, you poxy f***wit." To have player 2 get unlimited energy, "Blimey governor, look at the size of his John Thomas." John Thomas is a British word for penis. To unlock level 4, "And the good Lord said let there be flapshots." Flapshots is British slang for vagina. To unlock level 5, "I wonder if Dolly Parton's is as big as her tits." Fanny is also British slang for vagina. To unlock level 6, "Manchester United can't fly airplanes." This is a reference to the 1958 plane crash that killed some of the Manchester United football team that was on board.
The aircraft was a twin-engined Elizabethan on charter from BEA, and was just taking off for home in poor weather when the crash came. It plunged from about 60 feet, bursting into flames near houses.
To become invisible, Salman Rushdie plays Alien Breed. Salman Rushdie was the author of a novel entitled The Satanic Verses. It was controversial in the Islamic world since it dealt with religion. As such, Iran ordered Salman to be executed, and Salman went into hiding as violence and riots erupted in some parts of the world. To make the aliens faster, Ben Johnson trained these aliens. Ben Johnson was a sprinter who won the 1988 Summer Olympics gold medal, but shortly afterwards, it was stripped from him after he tested positive for drugs. To make the screen dark, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is a famous blind musician. And finally, to get unlimited health, aliens are f***s. At the time, game magazines posted these cheat codes uncensored, and surprisingly, no one complained. Game distributor Virgin certainly lived up to their name. In cannon fodder for the Amiga, the company's logo intro in the beginning of the game hid a dirty little secret. If you decrunch a certain file and change color number 31 from black to white, you'll see scribble text that says free sex. The Uncharted games are filled with ancient relics. In the first game in the series, a tombstone can be found that has an epitaph written in Spanish. Most players probably just ignored it, but if you actually took the time to read it, you were a loser. According to translations online, the gravestone says, "If you're reading this tombstone, you're a massive nerd. Please get a life and get a girlfriend." According to some, the Spanish is poorly written, and the last sentence may actually be saying, "Please get a life and get outside." Ganso Saiyuuki Super Monkey Daibouken is hailed as one of the worst Famicom games ever made. It was only released in Japan and was based on the novel Journey to the West. One of the game's creators, however, wanted a journey to the south. Kaoru Nakajima, who was the designer of the game, hid a message in the game's graphics. It was in Japanese, but when translated to English, it partly read, "I wanna lick some I want a perverted miss. I like vagina and the clit." This didn't seem to hurt Nakajima's career, since he ended up doing artwork for Super Smash Bros. And new Pokemon Snap. Perfect Dark contains a cheeky hidden message, but blink and you'll miss it. In the game's intro cutscene, a vehicle flies through a futuristic Chicago.
Why the big hurry?
If Dr. Carroll is not extracted tonight, Datadyne will put him through mind conditioning.
Your character Joanna is on board being briefed on her mission. It's all very serious, but if you use a Game Shark code to float around the city shown in the cutscene, you'll see this.
Finding out what Datadyne are up to.
Are they all?
A sign on a skyscraper that says Anal Land. It's partially obstructed in the actual cutscene, and it's very easy to miss, even when you know what to look for. Despite this, however, eagle-eyed players back in 2000 still knew about it, and for 20 years, they wondered what the sign was supposed to mean. In 2020, the game's weapon animator Chris Darling revealed that the sign was an inside joke. We were like, oh f***, the general viewing public was never meant to see it. It was always a bit of an in-joke with us. It was one of the first things people spotted about the game. Interestingly, the game's developer Rare did address the sign earlier in 2001, just a year after Perfect Dark came out. In a Q&A posted on their website, they said that the sign was one of several, quote, graphical oddities put into the levels solely for your bafflement. They have no function outside of the obvious one, making people ask what they are for. That answer was also used to explain the mysterious question mark box hidden in the game's warehouse level. I covered it in a previous video. Perfect Dark would later get remastered in 2010 for Xbox Live Arcade, but the sign had been changed to say Clubland instead of Anal Land. It makes you wonder if Rare or Microsoft made that call.